Hello, my fellow K-popers. In today's K-pop conversations, I'm going to be talking about ARTMS's debut with Virtual Angel. And I wore white to celebrate because in Virtual Angel, they're basically wearing white in the music video. So if you don't know, ARTMS is a 5-member group and they consist of former loona members. Now, loona was a group of 12 members, and so for these 5 members, this is basically like their 5th debut. Like, they have debuted multiple times within loona's projects. They're well experienced, well talented, and you should give them a listen and support them. So I am so excited because I've been looking forward to ARTMS's official debut ever since they released their pre-release called Birth. Like, I was so excited. And not only did they debut, right? Because when most K-pop groups debut, whether they're rookies, like real rookies, like first time debuting, or veterans, meaning they have debuted multiple times, they usually debut with like a single, a double single, or like even a mini album. But rarely do you see like a K-pop group debut with a full album. It probably has been done. You can let me know in the comments like any K-pop groups that have officially debuted with a full album, but it's not something that is done all the time in K-pop. So when I heard ARTMS was releasing a full album, I was so excited. Like, what? We're getting more than 5 songs? What? Also, they did 4 pre-release tracks. Like, the marketing team at Modhaus is doing a phenomenal job because usually groups will release like 1 or 2 pre-releases. So not only did they did 1 or 2, they gave us 4 pre-releases and 4 completely different concepts and sounds, and all high quality, like amazing. My orbit, ourii, c.loo, Koti, heart is very happy right now. All of the fandoms of the loona girls, like I am part of that. I'm so happy with this debut, especially because it coincides with Eve's official debut. Like, they will be promoting on shows together, and I can't wait to see all of their little TikTok dance challenges, interactions, and photos. And as usual, this video is divided into chapters, so feel free to skip around as you wish, watch what you want, and don't watch what you don't want to watch. Alright, let's dive into the music video, because to say there's a lot going on in this music video is a major understatement. When I first clicked on the video, I always have my captions on, so when I first clicked on it, like, you know, the black screen before the MV starts playing, all I saw was the caption that was like warning, you know, the images and the flashes in the video, just warning for people who are sensitive to flashing lights and everything. And I was like, wait, what is going on? Then I played the music video and I was like, what is going on? What is these million half-second cuts to all these different visuals and scenes? You know, I heard some people say in the comments that, like, you know, you're not supposed to look at an angel for too long because, you know, they're like otherworldly, and, you know, kind of like you can't look at the sun for too long or your eyes will burn, like something like that. So then I was like, oh, okay, then that kind of like makes sense why they did the video that way. Yeah, I thought it was really creative that they did the video in that way because, you know, K-pop music videos, they be really crazy. Like, there be so many different outfits, so many different sets, so many effects. Like, you can't focus on like lyrics, you just have to focus on the visuals and then go back to look at the lyrics. So I like how they did this like artsy and different vibe like that, and really following with the angel theme. Like, you know, they're representing angels, so it's like, you know, you can't just look at them straight on. So I think that was very cool. And they did release a human eye version, so for all the people that were complaining, just watch the human eye version that does not have all those crazy cuts and flashes, and you'll be fine. It's the same thing, just no crazy cuts. Okay, let's talk theories. I know everyone is coming up with different theories, so I'm just going to contribute to that and add to my existing theory. So if you've seen some of my other videos on ARTMS and Ensemble, you know that I have this theory that basically all 12 of the moon girlies are separated and they're in different worlds, different planets, and they're basically trying to reunite and find each other, but it's hard because they don't know where they're at and they're not in any of the places that they've ever been before. So if we're thinking about Looniverse, you know, they're not in those places, so they kind of don't know where to look. I think in the Looniverse there was like lots of different dimensions and worlds, so they're basically lost and kind of in limbo, and they're like alone. Like Eve is alone, Chu is alone, but the Lusemble members are together and then ARTMS members are together. In that theory that I have, there's a reason why those members are together and separated from the others. So if you want to hear more about that or a little bit about that, I will put the links to my other videos in the description. Yeah, so basically my theory for Virtual Angel is that the ARTMS members, after the events of the birth music video where the goddess Artemis gives them redemption to be reborn after they go through like a major event, Artemis shows them mercy, splits herself into 5, and infuses herself in each of the 5 girls. The girls are not only just themselves, but they're also Artemis, so like 2 in 1 kind of, but each of the girls have a piece of the goddess. The girls are no longer like human. I do believe they have a part of their humanity left, but they're basically these like angel goddess super beings now. So I think Virtual Angel is showing the ARTMS members as these angel slash goddess slash beings, and just like them navigating this new world that they're in and their new like abilities and just like their new body that's glowing and bright all the time. So ARTMS, they're just like doing their own thing, figuring stuff out, talking, and then I think this girl with the camcorder happens to see ARTMS and discover them. This world kind of looks like Earth, but maybe it's like Earth but different. But I think in this world they've never seen anything like ARTMS. Like they've never seen these angel slash goddess super beings before. So this person with the camcorder is like, oh my goodness, like this is crazy. But I think they see them first with their eyes and it's like too bright that they can't look at them for too long, and then they like whip out their camcorder and record, and you know, they can look through the screen, they can actually look at ARTMS. So I think this person discovers them, films these videos from a distance, and then goes back and uploads it to social media, and it goes viral like on TikTok or whatever social media platform this world has, this planet has. So I think it goes super viral and a lot of people watch it. But like what tends to happen to certain videos on social media of like supernatural or creepy things, like half of those things are believed to be true footage and then the other half are believed to be like CGI fake. Like if someone posts a video that they see a ghost, you know, sometimes it could be like fake or something, or like those creepy videos of like things in the sky. Like it could be true, but sometimes it could be fake and debunked. So what I think is happening in the music video is that camcorder girl goes viral for that footage of the ARTMS angel goddesses, and people see it, but then I feel like a lot of people debunk it and say like, oh, this is fake, you could just use like really big LED lights or like make a holographic image, or like people like are just like, half of them are like, it's fake. But then there is the small group of people, the 5 girls we see in the music video who are like praying to ARTMS on the TV screens. I believe these 5 girls believe the footage is real and just become completely infatuated and obsessed with ARTMS, like literally. And so this person with the camcorder, the girl who loaded the videos, I think she creates this virtual experience video slash game kind of thing, something like in the book Ready Player One. So like in Ready Player One, it's like a post-apocalyptic world where the real world is like all in shambles and rubble, and people are like living in slums because there's like no modern technology or plumbing or things like that. So people basically, they plug into this virtual reality world, like spend their whole day sitting or laying down plugged in with these VR goggles, and they live out their life virtually with an avatar that they can make themselves. So like you can make the avatar look however you want, really handsome, really cool, whatever. So I think Camcorder Girl made a virtual reality experience slash game, like kind of like in Ready Player One, and then the 5 girls are like the ones who are actually using it, playing it. And I think these 5 girls also, in addition to representing this in the storyline, I think they also are a very like a major commentary on the K-pop fan relationship. How like K-pop stans can be so like, they're like overboard, right? That they like worship their idols, and you should never worship like celebrities or anything like that. Like, you can really love them and support them and like, you know, be obsessed, but you should never go overboard where you're like praying to them or something. Because like in the MV, the girls are like holding up their light sticks. They're like, basically they formed their own cult. They're kissing, you know, the girls' faces on the TV screens. They're wearing angel wings. You know, their whole room is like a shrine to the 5 girls, and they basically spend their whole day plugged into this VR experience so that they could see the ARTMS angel goddesses. They could see the girls and like pretend they're interacting with them, but they're not, because you know the virtual reality thing is not real. So they spend their whole time doing that. So like I think this is a commentary for like K-pop stans to be like, hey, we know you like K-pop, we know you like your groups and the music and everything, but you should not spend your whole day on it, and you should not make that your identity. And I have to admit, I do feel somewhat called out by that commentary. Anyways, yeah, so these 5 girls have their own cult. It's to the point where I think they also want to be them, because I know as a K-pop stan, at one point or another, you can't lie to me and say you have never wanted to be your idol, like be in their position. Like imagine what it would be like to have millions of fans, to be adored by so many, to have incredible singing and dancing skills, and just like, you know, live that life. And you know, they make it look like it's so fun when it's actually like a lot of pressure and very demanding, and it could be not fun at times, but they make it look so fun. So I feel like at one point every K-pop stan has wanted to like be their favorite idol, just to see how it would be like to live it out. And I think these 5 girls, like they want to be ARTMS. Like they love them, they like worship them, they're praying to them. Like to them, ARTMS is their motivation for life. They are their reason for living, and I think they also want to be them in a way as well. These girls are like, you know, all obsessed, and what I think happens is when they plug into the VR experience, I think that they're able to, like, they can control themselves in the game like their avatars, which we see throughout the video, right? So I think in the VR experience, they can like do whatever they want and have abilities that are similar to the ARTMS girls, because we see one of those fangirls, the cult members, like levitating. And I think that scene comes sometime after we see one of them putting on the VR goggles. So I think in this VR simulation, they can like levitate, they can fly, they can glow, they have powers, because then we see the girl, the close-up of the girl's eyes, and there's like lights flashing out of it. So I think in this simulation, they can actually be the ARTMS girls, like have their abilities and fly and shoot beams of light out and just be like kind of invincible. When we see those 5 girls like on the floor in random places, like on the street, on steps, I think that scene illustrates how they are so obsessed with this simulation that they plug into it every day, all day long. And like even when they go outside, they'll have it on, and you know, they could just pass out or just like be anywhere, fall asleep, pass out, and they'll still have it on and be like outside on the street somewhere. Kind of how like people who like to drink and go clubbing, like they'll drink so much that they could like pass out on the street or be found somewhere. Just like how they're just really into something that they're not aware of their surroundings, and you know, they could be outside and do it when they should focus on walking or running an errand or something. That's what I think is going on. And meanwhile, these 5 cult girls are so obsessed with ARTMS. The ARTMS members are like literally just trying to like figure out how to find the other moon girls, the other members of Loona. Like what are we gonna do now? Where are we? What is this? Our bodies are literally glowing, like we have these different abilities. Like what? So they're literally just, they're trying to navigate their new bodies and the new world, and then these just 5 girls are just become so enamored with them. And then at the end, camcorder girl, she's like holding up the camcorder, and then the ARTMS girls are not there anymore. So I think the camcorder girl here is, I think she was at the same level of the Lulu as the 5 cult girls, but by the end of the music video, I think she's kind of thinking to herself like, did I just create a monster? Like, because I think she's feeling a little responsible or a little guilty, because I think she is witnessing the 5 cult members, you know, how they're slowly just falling into a downward spiral because of their obsession with ARTMS. And she's kind of seeing it unfold. Maybe she goes to the same school as them or lives in the same neighborhood, and she's seeing all of this unfolding, and she kind of feels kind of like responsible for all of this happening. And but she's like she can see past it, like, right, like she was enamored with them, but I'm just kind of like, this is like not really good for me, it's taking all of my time. And like, you know, she's on the other side of that, and she sees the girls kind of acting like how she did when she first discovered the ARTMS girls. So she's kind of like, I think she's feeling like responsible for it. All right, let's talk about the tracks. So speaking of a Virtual Angel, let's talk about the song itself. So I will admit, I do like Virtual Angel. I feel like it does match the concept. I think even though I didn't really know what to expect with their title track, I think this fits perfectly, and I can't imagine any other sound for Virtual Angel. I do like it, but I don't like love it. I don't know what the correct term for this kind of genre is, but I feel like I've heard this genre in K-pop before and outside of K-pop, and this genre to me feels like, you know, when you're on a road trip, going for a drive, or on the bus, and you hear this, and it's kind of like, you know, upbeat, high intensity, really poppy, and I don't know, I like it, but I don't like love it, like compared to like the other songs of the album and the pre-releases, but I do like it. So I do want to say the like the parts sound really heavenly and angelic, and reminds me of like a hymn you would hear at church, and that's a really nice touch since the song is called Virtual Angel. Basically, to me, the way I interpret this song, it's a love song about someone who was afraid to fall in love, falling in love with the person that is meant for them, falling in love with their soulmate. Like, they were afraid, because falling in love can be a very vulnerable experience. The lyric that says, "I hold a superpower to avoid hurting myself." So this line sounds like before they fell in love, so they built a wall around their heart so no one can get close enough to break their heart. So like, that's their superpower. Like, I don't want to hurt myself, I don't want to get hurt, so I'll just protect myself from getting too close to someone. And especially the other lyric supports this too. An emotion such as love, something I can't believe in yet. They build the wall around their heart so that they can protect themselves and won't get hurt. So like, you know, they don't believe in love yet. Like, they don't know if it'll ever happen. It seems like it's impossible. I know we can all relate to that, how you'd be like, oh, is it really gonna happen? You know, will I really find my person? So I think like the beginning of the song is just showing how like someone is like, oh, I'm afraid to fall in love, I don't think it'll happen. And then the part that says, but the moment I saw you, I cried tears of happiness. This line is like the person finally seeing their soulmate, kind of like love at first sight. They see them and they feel that connection, that instant connection. They're so happy they could cry tears of happiness because something in their gut, in their intuition tells them this is the one, like this is my person, you know, my twin flame. And this line is also so genius because I think it really matches the angel concept as well, because you know, when you think of seeing an angel, right, you would be in awe of seeing an angel, you would feel happy because you'd feel like a feeling of safety, of happiness, of relief. And I think you would like be moved to tears to see something so amazing. And to compare that, like being in awe of seeing an angel, compare it to seeing, you know, your soulmate for the first time. I just like that comparison. Like whoever wrote these lyrics is the writing is just superb. In my frozen heart, new flowers begin to bloom. What was hidden in the freezing point were my feelings for you. So like they're starting to fall in love, to gain feelings for that person. And the sin of absorbing the sun, the moment it causes harm. Here we have Jinsoul and her iconic reference to the sun that started with her Loona solo debut back with Singing in the Rain. Keep in mind the word sun because you're gonna see it a few more times throughout this album. And then when they say, I'm your virtual angel, my feelings are complete when the moon rises, your angel. I know this is a love song, but when they say virtual angel, I feel like sometimes K-pop groups and artists are kind of like our virtual angel because we basically just like put them on such a high pedestal, and you know they want to be perfect for us. We are so motivated by them and they cheer us up and everything. So saying they're our virtual angel is like another way of like saying like we're your like motivators. And then of course we have the sun will never win against me, darkness gives me strength even more. I think that references the line about absorbing the sun. So apparently swallowing the sun is taboo. So with this lyric, I think they did something that was taboo and caused harm, but they won't let it destroy them. So, you know, this can also be my reference to the whole disbandment scandal. Like, they are strengthened by the obstacles they went through. And then they say, when I open my eyes at last, please save me, Savior. I think this is kind of like the whole storybook fairy tale romance, because like when people find love, they kind of feel like that person can be like a savior to them. Like I feel comfortable and safe and loved with you, so it's like you saved me because you gave my life additional meaning. And when haseul says happiness is through the line, I'll love you even more, I think this line is speaking about commitment, the commitment it takes to be in love and stay in love. So if the couple stays true to each other, they can be happy. Moving on to Sparkle, I really love this song. This song is so catchy, like the sparkle, circle. This song is so catchy. I love this. I love the blowing emotion. You make it my motion. I love the rhyming emotion with motion. It's like the same, basically the same thing. And now let me talk about some of my favorite lyrics. When they say that warm smile, oh my god, I'm excited for no reason. That's so relatable because like when you like someone, the littlest things they do can just make you happy and smile. Like if you see your crush smiling, like it can literally give you butterflies, like for no reason. You feel happy. And that line is just so relatable. When they say the motion that leads me, motion that pulls you, this line describes the magnetic pull, that invisible force that draws two people together when they're both really, really interested in each other. When they say, let's start a firework, just the two of us, I think this is them asking the person they're interested in to see where this goes. Like, let's take it further, you know, start that firework, like, let's make it official. And when they say, I can be with you whenever, like, this is just basically like they want to spend as much time together as possible, like, whenever, wherever, I want to be with you. And they say, the twinkling moment, you, mine, mine, mine. They want that person to be theirs. And then when they say we circle inside this shape, endless merry-go-round. So I feel like this is the circle part. It reminds me of Eve loop because a loop can be like a circle. So yeah, basically they're like really into this person. They, you know, their thoughts are revolving around this person. It's an endless merry-go-round. And when they say before the sun goes down, hurry up and pick me up, the moon will rise soon. So because this sounds like maybe this is not a real relationship yet, maybe they're getting to know each other, they're feeling that intense attraction, so it's still new and full of uncertainty. So I think the girls are like singing through the lyrics, like it feels like there's a deadline, like this person can leave at any moment but they want to be exclusive with them, they're not sure. So it's kind of like, okay, like we spend time together at certain times, spend this time together before the moon rises. Moving on to Butterfly Effect. So with Butterfly Effect, this is also probably another love song, but the way I see it, it could be like showing the ARTMS members taking their first steps after being reborn as the ARTMS angel slash goddesses. Because we have lyrics like, they say, do you remember the way little wings that started being reborn? So they mentioned being reborn, so that's why I feel like this is them like talking about their experience being reborn. And then they say, I still believe it, the hurricane of my heart that grew from that day on. So they still believe in themselves and, you know, like whatever like goals or dreams that they want. And I also think the word hurricane is a reference to Go Won's Hurricane in the Why Not music video. And then they say slow motion that calls for you, it's a butterfly effect zone. So I think this is showing that the passage of time is different in the different worlds that they're currently in. And also butterfly referencing Go-won's butterfly, which was her assigned animal in the Loonaverse. And then they say everything's all right now, I'm going to fly again. So I think this shows that they're now in a safe place, they're reborn, they've been healed, so they will fly again. They're ready to fly again after everything they've went through. Also, at the end of a journey filled with newness, I think we're here, dream of mine. So I think this is talking about the hardships they went through in real life with the disbandment and other obstacles, but in the storyline it can also talk about what they went through in being separated from the other girls as well. And I really like the line that says, fast motion again, I'm falling into your kaleidoscope. So I think this is showing how they're in a completely new, different world, and it's just like a lot to take in. Like when you look in a kaleidoscope, there's all these different colors and reflections. But legend will say this is a love song comparing like the butterfly effect of being in a relationship, how it feels like time slows down when you're with that person. Moving on to the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, I also really love this song. Like with this album, I basically love all the songs for the most part. I really love this song. This song is kind of reminds me of like, it sounds like dubstep kind of, because it's very like techno electronic, and in the chorus there's a really heavy vocal effect. Like when the girls are singing, it kind of sounds like their voices are like a million octaves higher, like there's some kind of vocal effect making it sound really like squeaky and like high pitched. I love that so much. It reminds me of like dubstep. I don't know what this genre is called, but I love this song so much. I know that this song is probably like a love song, right? But for me, in my orbit mind, I'm interpreting this song as like the ARTMS girls like trying to send signals out to the other girls, but the other girls are not getting those signals, because Like they say, way too far to reaching my star, keep going round and round again. They're, the other members are too far away and can't see, Artemis's star. Like they go around and around and they can't find each other. They're going around and around like a loop. Loop, Eve reference. They also say between a sense of deja vu that you don't know why with the twinkling Morse signal. So deja vu, we also heard that line in like a Loona song, I think. Yeah, and then there's like a Morse signal. So yeah, I think all of the girls are trying to send each other messages to find each other, and none of those messages are being received. But then if we go on the other side and say this is a love song, maybe we can interpret it as like a person that is dreaming, praying to find their true love, because all these lyrics are talking about like, like you're far away from someone but you want to be found. Loossemble using their satellite and spaceship to look for the other members. Then they say, you're calling me faintly, click, click here. You're calling me faintly. So they, the Loona members cannot get a clear signal from each other. It's like Artemis is like they can kind of hear something kind of staticky, some like gray noise, but they don't know what it is. And it's like when they say click, click here, they're like, we're over here, SOS. But the other girls can't hear it. And then they say ice and fireworks, stars, after 12 constellations of unknown origin. The number 12 is a reference to the 12 members of Loona, so let's just put that out there. Into one's memory. Oh yeah, the fact that they mentioned memory, I think this also shows that like the Loona members in the storyline, like they still remember each other. Then they say, everything around me too far, disappearing. I think I found you far away, fly me to the moon. So it's like seeming like the members seem to be on the right track to finding each other, but then it's a false alarm and they lose the signal. Oh, and before the chorus drops, there's this ticking clock sound that it reminds me of Eve's loop. So to me, this is a reference that is probably accidental, but before the chorus drops in this song, there's like a ticking sound, clock ticking sound. Go listen to it. And then in Eve's loop, before the chorus drops for her song, there's a clock ticking sound. So I like that. I like that these two have that clock sound. And then they say, so break the twilight, to you shine, and the moonlight sign that shines on me. Now what are you waiting for? Catch me, catch me. So I think when they say break the twilight, they're like, to the other Loona members, they're saying go beyond the usual spots to find each other. And when they say the moon is colored, that's just a reference to all the times they always use the word moon in their songs during Loona era and post Loona era. Like Loossemble mentions the moon a lot in their lyrics as well. Moving on to Unfair. Unfair is such a cute song. I love the little ding 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 instrumental sounds. Like at first when I heard this song, I'm like, oh, this is like so cute and groovy. But the lyrics, it's actually about like someone being in a situationship, like when you're like talking to someone, you're liking them, but you don't know if they feel the same, and you guys don't have a label, and you only hang out at certain times. And it's like unfair because you want to be exclusive with them, but you don't know if they want to be exclusive with them, and you don't know what they're thinking. So for a cute sounding song, it's actually kind of torturous because of the lyrics. I mean, like, just look at the lyrics. Like when they say, it's so unfair, there are so many things I want to say. They want to say that they want this person, they really like them, but it's like kind of hard because you just don't know how the other person's feeling, and it can be kind of like scary to like ask that, because they can always be like, no, I don't want to be exclusive with you, or I don't feel the same way about you, that like pre-heartbreak. I mean, the person in this song has it really bad for the other person, because they say, no matter how mischievous you are, no matter how anxious you are, you're still my favorite. So they're like, you know, I really like you with all of your flaws and all, like, I still like you. And then, of course, the word favorite is a reference to Luna's favorite. I feel like Eve also used the word favorite in one of her B-sides, so we're going 2 for 2 with the favorite reference. Then they say, do you see my heart? Can't hide it. It's so unfair. Like, when you really fall for someone, you can't hide how you feel about them. And it's like, wouldn't it be so cool if you could just hide it? Like, say you really like someone, but you don't know if they like you like that. Like, if they want to be exclusive with you, like if you could just hide it and be as cool and calm as they are showing themselves to be, like, that would be a nice superpower. Let us take a moment and appreciate the amazingness of Distress. Distress is a smooth, groovy R&B sounding B-side. Like, so far I really like all of the songs on the album. Like, love them, like them. But I feel like, oh my gosh, it's so hard to choose. But if you came to me right now and said, you know what, you have to choose one song off of ARTMS's debut album. They gotta choose one song. Like, I understand you like all of their songs, they're all great, but you gotta choose just one that you can listen to for like the next like month, like just one song from them. Like, I would choose Distress because I am a sucker for R&B songs, for groovy songs. Like, this song, like, this is such a sexy sounding song. Like, I love it so much. When you look at the lyrics, there's not a lot of discussion about love or relationship, like, you know, according to like the translation of the lyrics from the way I understand it. So to me, Distress is really one of those K-pop songs that claims to be about something really normal, like nothing to do with like sensuality, sexiness, but then you listen to the instrumental, you listen to the actual music, and it sounds and exudes sexiness, just sensual. And that's what this song is. And it's called Distress, right? Like, what? It sounds sexy. Why is it called Distress? So I just wanted to point that out. I think this song is basically like a person who is going through some things, who's feeling very stressed out and distressed, but then they're like getting themselves out of it. Like, you know, who has not felt depressed? Who has not had like a week long depressive mood, or maybe longer, like a depressive mood, and then you suddenly just, you slowly pull yourself out of it, like you just snap out of it, like, okay, let me stop being mopey and sad, whatever, and let me just get back to reality. So I think this song is like a person's like stressed out, and then they, you know, they get themselves out of that mood. Also, I feel like it's about someone not being stressed anymore, and this could be with the help of either themselves alone or with the help of like a romantic partner, because there's some lyrics that show that. So when they say, the sound of siren ringing again, it's our time, feel it, in between the times I've been waiting, with the light that's always, no matter in the dark. So here, I think these lines are talking about like the stress that is eating at their mind. So whatever is concerning them, they're trying to sleep at night, but you know, it's hard. Like, the light that, you know, there's always this light in the dark, and it's like their overactive mind just thinking about what they're worried about and stressed about, especially with the line that says heart that's getting faster now. So like, you know, when you're stressed out, when you're anxious, you know, you're panicking, your heart beats faster. So I think that's just like showing a symptom of being just super stressed out. And then there's a part that says, we go on, the end of the sun as my heart leads. So the word sun is a reference to jinsoul singing in the rain, and I think this is the second time we see the word sun in this album. So I mean, with the amount of times we're seeing the word sun in this album, and all the times we've heard the word sun in their other Loona songs, I feel like the sun is like the enemy, especially to jinsoul. Like, maybe the sun is the enemy here. tell me baby a warm-hearted belief. So if it's, you know, someone being, I think this is like someone being comforted by, you know, their romantic partner, like, you know, when you're stressed out and you're just like venting to your partner, and then you're kind of like, oh, just like talk to me about something, about anything, because I want to be distracted. I don't want to think about whatever's stressing me out. Just like talk to me. So I think that line is like, you know, talk to me about anything because it'll really help me. Oh, and then when they say, yeah, tonight I've changed, I'm not afraid again. So I think this is, you know, after they, if it's them alone or them with their partner, they have de-stressed, so they're changed, like this night is different, they're feeling better. Especially another thing that supports that idea is the lyric, brilliant night, beautiful night, everything is new. So it's like a fresh start. The same way a new day can be a fresh start, a new night can be a fresh start as well. Moving on to Air. Air was their fourth pre-release, and Air samples Ourii Circle's Air Force One. So Ourii Circle is a subunit of loona, but after the disbandment, the members of Ourii Circle joined Modhaus and actually re-debuted as Ourii Circle on their Modhaus and did release a debut mini album. They debuted with the song Air Force One, and now ARTMS, which also consists of the three Ourii Circle members, they sampled Air Force One in this song Air, and I thought that was really, really cool because you don't often hear K-pop groups sampling their own songs, or like songs of like a subunit of them that's actually a part of them. I think the only time I can think of a K-pop group sampling their own stuff was SHINee when SHINee did Sherlock, because on the Sherlock album they actually had two songs. One was called Clue, the other was called Note, and when you combine it, it makes Sherlock. I remember them talking about it. So that's kind of like, I don't know if it's sampling, but it's definitely using sounds from some of your songs to make one. So there's that example. And then I can't remember the ITZY song, but one of ITZY's B-sides samples the boom 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 in DALL, like that bass sound. Like they kind of sample it, but like change the tempo, or the like it doesn't sound exactly the same, but it kind of does. So those are the two like instances where I can think of like a K-pop group sampling their own stuff. You know, the fact that ARTMS is sampling Air Force One, which part of them were involved in that, like it's just really cool to see. I really like this song. This song has such a playful, fun, refreshing instrumental, and if you listen closely, there's like a lot of unique sounds in there. Like the quality on the production is just really, really detailed, and this is such a playful song. The story for this song to me is just like hyping yourself up to take on a new day, like giving yourself that confidence boost, going out, partying, like, you know, just being like your best self. I mean, they even say from head to toe, feeling new like Cinderella's story. We're gonna party like birthday, like just go out and have fun. And then they say, same old days, now change. Same old days, now change it. Clock is ticking when you blink, like airflow. Basically, like switch up your routine and have more fun, because time is gonna go fast and you're never gonna get time back. So just go and do the thing you want to do. And of course, when they say time goes tick tock, ticky tock tock, all the troubles drop, like forget about your worries, just enjoy yourself. And of course, we cannot overlook the been there and I been there. That line from jinsoul, a direct reference to Luna's Butterfly, because they say been there in Butterfly too. And I like when they say Harder, better, faster, stronger, me tonight. We can always evolve and change and reinvent ourselves. So, don't give up. Don't give up on yourself. Moving on to Candy Crush, and Candy Crush actually samples haseul's Plastic Candy. Haseul is a member of ARTMS, and she released a song called Plastic Candy, and now in ARTMS they have decided to sample her song, which is also cool. And just like I'm a sucker for R&B music, I'm a sucker for city pop. I love city pop so much because it's just so groovy and jazzy, and I love the saxophone, and the saxophone in this song is beautiful, and the flute sound in this song, just phenomenal, just so magical. I really love this song. Like, I know I said Distress was my favorite B-side, but Candy Crush, like, I can listen to this over and over. Like, I can listen to this for days and days. Like, I love it so much. I think the story of this song is just finding someone you really like and not wanting to let them go. I mean, they say it in the lyrics. They say, I don't want to go. I walked a million steps and passed a million stars to come here. I think that line is so beautiful because, when people finally find true love, I think they can usually say, it took a while. Like, they had to kiss a few frogs to find their Prince Charming. So I think this line, talking about how they walked so many steps and just like passed by so many people to find the person that there is their true love, I think that's a really nice like metaphor for it, and it also ties in well to their whole concept as ARTMS, and their origin of being girls of the moon, to like reference stars and galaxies. And the line, a dream of the moment when I breathe out, hopeless dreaming, you're clearly the one. I think this illustrates how like they've been waiting and dreaming for this moment, and they're finally like, they look at that person in the eye and they're like, you're the one. Like, I feel it. When they say, I don't know if this sweetness belongs to me, but that's not what's important. I think this line can be interpreted as how we sometimes don't feel like we deserve or are worthy of romantic love for whatever reason that may be. Like how some people say, you're so great, I don't deserve you. Like, I don't know why people say that, but I think that's what that line is showing. Like, I don't know if, like, I don't know how I got so lucky to find this person, but it's not important. I think that line shows that. And then the line, when everyone's asleep, I let the calm silhouette embrace me with a bite of that clear plastic candy. I think this is like an analogy metaphor for sleeping with someone. In a lot of K-pop songs, they will not outright say like that they slept with someone, or like getting physical with each other, getting steamy. Like, I think in a lot of K-pop songs they use metaphors and analogies. Like I could think of like songs that talk about color me with your color, or something like being filled with color, and that's like an analogy for getting physical with someone. So this line right here feels like it's like an analogy for, someone sleeping with someone, getting physical, because they're talking about a silhouette embracing them, when everyone's asleep, right? So I feel like that's like a kind of like a classy way to say it than just outright saying it. Okay, now it's time for the super dark and super creepy Birth. Birth was their first pre-release and is the most drastically different song on the album. There's no other song on the album like Birth, and I love Birth for that. The song Birth, like the lyrics, I think talks about like a really bad breakup, because we have lyrics like, though you fade away, you still swallow me, I can feel it deep inside. So they broke up with this person is now their ex, but they still miss them, and maybe they want them back and they're still hurting. So it's like they're still feeling swallowed by this person. They can still feel it in them even though they're not together anymore. So yeah, I think the person in this song is like really bitter. Like they're trying to move on, but they're still really angry and hurt, and they want to get back at them, kind of. Like they want to just like do something to like get at the person. Like how you break up with someone and let's say they move on with someone, so then you like try to get a rebound to make them jealous. Go out with someone, have that rebound, and like flaunt them around your ex, like something like that. Because the line that says, I could gather ex-boyfriends, searching for you with that handout flyer, thank you, I've become your monologue. I think these lyrics are showing how like the girl who was dumped says, oh, I could gather ex-boyfriends. You know, I could go out with, you know, anyone I want. I could go out with as many guys as I want. Like, haha, like in your face. And I've become your monologue. So monologue is like kind of like a speech someone says. So I think the girl is saying, you know, I can become your monologue. I can like do what you know, like how like the boyfriend acted, like how he talked and everything. Like, oh, if he really like cheated on this girl and broke up with her, like maybe she could do the same. She can just go and sleep with someone and she can act like he did. So I think this person is just really scorned by the breakup. But then when they say, an illusion in my delirium sheds light to my manipulated memories. So I think this is them being like, okay, I'm like really messed up by this breakup. Like it's actually not good for my physical or mental health. And I think this is like a moment of like reality, them like logically thinking like, okay, I really need to get over this breakup because I'm like acting like my ex now and just like resorting to things they did that hurt me and led to the breakup. And when they say manipulated memories, I think they're also realizing that they look back on the memories and think it's all happy, but in reality it might not be as they remembered it. Like they were probably looking at it through like the lenses of being in love where everything's super fine and happy, but maybe there were warning signs all along in their memories for the downfall of the relationship. And then they say, I'll forget you, be forgotten, I'll leave you be, I just keep lying to you, lie. So like they are making an effort to move on from this person, right? But it's still like the breakup is still fresh and it's just like a lie at this point because they can't forget them just yet. Like it's gonna take some time. And then they say, close your eyes and swear to yourself, love me, it's a gift. So I think this is like the girlfriend's last attempt to get back with the ex and like, you know, just let's be together, let's make it work, just say you love me, la. But like the ex is like, no, I don't love you, like this is why we broke up, blah blah blah. And the girl's just like trying to save the relationship even though it's already destroyed. And when they say, I could make it a better future, when I wake up tomorrow I'm born with a fake smile. So I think this is them being like, you know, even if I'm not happy, even if I'm not completely over you, I need to wake up tomorrow and pretend that I am, because I need to get to the point where I'm over you, but it still hurts right now, I still can't really do it, but let me just go through the motions. You know, the same way people say if you're feeling sad, smile even though you're not happy, because apparently activating the smiling muscles will send the signal to your brain and help make you feel happy. So like in that same, like with that same concept, the girlfriend is like trying to like, let me put on a fake smile and let me try to be happy even though I'm not. And last but not least, let's talk about flower rhythm. I also really love flower rhythm. I love the electronic techno. It just sounds very like electronic vibes. I really also love songs like this. And this song also samples Heejin's algorithm, and Heejin is a member of ARTMS, and so I like how they are sampling it too. So Flower Rhythm was their second pre-release. So I think whereas in Candy Crush we had that silhouette analogy for sleeping with someone, being more classy and hidden about it, I think Flower Rhythm is a song that is just outright a person telling, their romantic partner, like how much they love being with them. And I think it's just like a sexy kind of song. I mean, it starts out like the first line is like, kiss at the end of dawn, petals begin to bloom. So like right away action is happening. Like there's a couple and they really love each other, and they are expressing their affection for each other. And I mean, when they say, oh, when you call my name, I approach you as a flower, I'll give you all my love all day. So I mean, that just adds to the argument that this song is about just like someone giving all their love to someone. This song is just like someone expressing their love language to their person, basically. But then they throw in this line that completely like throws me off this track. They say, everything's perfect when you're reborn. So the whole song is talking about like being with someone, like you are kissing, you are loving someone, and then they're like, everything's perfect when you're reborn. I mean, that line doesn't really fit with the whole love song narrative. I mean, you could argue and say that like when you fall in love with someone, you're like reborn because they are like a new aspect of your life. But we're gonna push that to the side because at first glance it just looks out of place. So I think this line is just referencing the whole reborn process the girls went through in birth, like in the storyline. And when they say, let me hug you tight when you need it, in addition to all of the physical affection, they're telling their romantic partner that they're there for them. Like, I'm here for you. Like when you need a hug, when you need a shoulder to cry on, when you need an ear to listen to you, I'm here. And then they say, the miraculous violin at the end of 4 seasons, let me show you how we dance. I don't know, this line also doesn't feel like it goes in with the vibe of love that this song has, because they're saying, let me show you how we dance. And when they say we, it feels like they're talking about themselves, like the members of ARTMS. So, and then the line that says, your dreams will come alive, like this also doesn't fit the sexy lovey-dovey vibe. Like, you just randomly say your dreams will come alive. I guess falling in love can be a dream for a lot of people, for some people. But like saying this in a song that says kiss at the end of dawn, I don't know, I think they just added that. And just like that, we're now at the end of the video. And as usual, whether you watched a little bit of this video or a lot of this video, thank you so much for watching and for your time. And I just also want to add that I'm really, really, really happy to see ARTMS, Lussemble, Eves, and c.loo flourishing in the K-pop music industry. I hope that their albums do well. I hope they make sales. I hope they get recognition and attention, and I hope they gain new fans because they deserve to have their efforts paid off. They worked really well and went through a very tough and messy disbandment process, but I'm just happy to see them growing as artists, and they are thriving. And yeah, I'll see you next time in another K-pop Conversations.